When you hear the word Australopithecus, what comes to mind? A violent, hairy beast that went around killing everything in its path, right? Well, not quite. This little guy was actually a gentle herbivore that would have been right at home on a modern-day kibbutz. Let me explain. Hi, and welcome to this channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the diet and behavior of Australopithecus sediba, an early relative of ours who lived in what is now South Africa between 2 million and 1.8 million years ago. We'll also be looking at the recent discovery of their fossilized poop, or coprolites, which has given us some really interesting new information about this species. Australopithecus sediba was a small, slender hominin that stood just under 4 feet tall and weighed about 100 pounds. They had a brain roughly 1/3 the size of ours and were covered in body hair. But despite their rather animalistic appearance, they were actually more like us than you might think. Their hands were much like ours with 5 opposable fingers, which means that just like us, they probably spent a lot of time climbing trees. They also walked upright on 2 legs and had a relatively flat face with a small nose and mouth. But unlike us, they had a protruding brow ridge and a pronounced sagittal crest. These features are often associated with great apes like gorillas and chimps, but don't let appearances fool you. Australopithecus sediba was neither violent nor hairy. In fact, it was quite the opposite. This new study was based on the analysis of 3 fossilized poop samples that were discovered in 2015. The samples were found at the same site where the first Australopithecus sediba skeleton was found in 2008. The team carefully examined the coprolites, searching for the microscopic remains of plants, animals, or other organic matter that could give us clues about what this species ate. One coprolite even preserved a small stone that had been making its way through the digestive tract of one of these ancient hominins. This is similar to the stones that are often found in the stomachs of modern-day cows and other ruminant animals. This suggests that Australopithecus sediba had a similar diet to modern-day herbivores such as cows. But why would they eat grass? Well, it turns out that the grasses of today are not the same as the grasses of 2 million years ago. The grasses that we are familiar with today are highly nutritious and were likely not present until after the extinction of the dinosaurs. The grasses that our ancestors would have been eating were most likely the wild variety, which are much less nutritious and much more fibrous. This would explain why Australopithecus sediba had such a large gut. It needed to be big in order to digest all of those tough plants. So there you have it. Australopithecus sediba was a gentle herbivore that lived on a diet of wild grasses. Now you know.